always find the best thing is just switch it on, because if we talk too much and try to figure out what we're going to do, we get caught out.
Okay.
This is kind of gorgeous news, because I know everybody would know the horse so well in this town. They would have these emotional and historical connections and all that. And the idea that it was going to change hands was certainly a big thing for a lot of people. They thought, well, I wonder, you know, who will now run it, and will it change and all that kind of stuff. Lots of good news for you guys to be the ones who are behind it, because not only do you kind of love and appreciate the place as it is, and you know the history, but you actually have a family connection too. Oh, what's the connection again?
Well, the connection is that my grandfather and my grandmother, they bought this place in 1964.
Right.
And my grandfather was a doctor up in Newcastle, and he retired. And with his retirement, he bought the horse.
Fantastic.
And, himself and his wife and his kids, they ran it as a family-run business for about 7 or 8 years.
It was George and Ida, was it, or
it was Gerald and Ida?
Gerald and Ida. There you go. Cool. Well, that's kind of rock and roll.
Yeah. So it was good. There was lots of good stories, good fun had in the establishment with my parents, you know, and all the relatives. Good parties. They used to do the Greystones Rugby Club didn't have a pavilion at the time.
Oh, right.
So the Greystones hops were all up here in the ballroom, which used to be called the ballroom, which is now the Raglan room.
Right, okay. Yeah. Well, that feeling then that you would have had, like a family connection, when you heard it was up for sale, did you get an immediate kind of gut reaction, or did this sort of take a little bit of time and thinking to say, do you know what, this could be something we could do? Or
yeah, it came up. I was looking for something to do, and it came up for sale. It was presented in beautiful condition. You know, Ross has done tremendous work with it, and it's a place I would go if I was having a drink or going to watch a rugby match. So I really liked the place. I thought it was a good pub. So it came up for sale. It kind of worked its way through. It percolated for a little while, and it came full circle eventually. But it wasn't something that I was like, oh God, I really got to buy that. It was a confluence of timing. And
it's a big step as well. You don't sort of do it a sort of trivial kind of, oh yeah, feck it, let's try it. You know, you have to think about how will this work, and you have given it a good thought. I know that you're keen to, you know, maintain what is a much loved pub, but then obviously you want to bring a little bit of your own kind of ideas to it. So I don't know if you can kind of reveal yet, or whether you'd like to wait for what people might expect, or because
well, some of the smaller, softer things would be we'd like to introduce a broader range of drinks.
Nice.
We'll get more local providers of gins and whiskies. We'd like to introduce the gin balloon glasses that people are using these days.
Nice,
There will be local beer producers, like we're going to get the Wicklow Wolf in. We were speaking with them last week, and they're very happy to be coming in. We'll get some local beer producers in.
Great.
But we will very much be looking after the existing locals and making sure that they're happy in terms of the people who are here.
A lot of the regulars are quite ugly. You don't have any kind of problem with that. Would that be okay? Would they be allowed still in? Because there's a lot of It's just that there are children can pass by, and sometimes you just get a fright when they see people standing in the doorway. Or
I've seen them run out in front of the cars.
Well, it would be. It is a natural reaction to but that is, I think, for me, it is the one place that I think has maintained, you know, a certain kind of, you know, love, that people do, you know, go here all the time. It never faltered from its identity, from its what it is. You know, it's just this great 1790. It's kind of nuts to think how long it's been around. But my father, my brothers, I'm his father. The idea that they all pretty much sort of had the same feeling about it. It wasn't like it went through a disco phase, or it went through any kind of phase. It was always sort of this solid, reliable place. And yet, as you say, with Ross and then, you know, Shane and Caroline, everyone's especially in the last 10 years or so, I think it was 2011 when they took over, it's kind of hit another golden sort of sense of, well, it's beautiful. It's really been well put together. And you've got all these mad, gorgeous ensuite rooms as well, which I know people might be surprised.
They're really lovely.
Because we hear the mantra in the guide about hotels all the time, and the idea there is actually, you know, miniature, small hotel, but you've got like, how many rooms is it now?
Well, we have 5 lovely rooms at the moment, and they're underfloor heating, beautiful timber floorboards.
They're stunning,
the windows have all been replaced. It's really in great condition. The bathrooms and all are very, very nice. We will have another 5 rooms as well, because there's an apartment, which is about 1,300 square feet. and we're going to convert that into 4 or 5 more rooms in the next 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
We'd also like to get some food into the Horse and Hound. Nearly everybody we've met.
Are you doing food? That's the
yeah,
big question.
yeah.
So hopefully we will be.
See, these are all smart things because, you know, we've been going through the whole town and you know, Delgany, Greystones, everybody. It's been going through a great kind of boom time, and there's things like that you just think, well, it should be, of course they're going to be like rooms to rent, and there's going to be you know, good food, and so it makes complete sense.
Yeah, we've been busy on working on putting the rooms up on they'll be up on booking.com very, very shortly,
right,
and advertise more broadly for towards the tourist. We'll be looking to try and get some
Americans in,
maybe golfers, with all the fantastic golfing and the fantastic heritage we have on the Ancient East Trail, all of that kind of thing, which we think is maybe under promoted.
Now, if somebody was related to Donald Trump, would they be allowed to? Is there any policy on that? I think there might be.
They might have to have a visa.
Right. Well, you could have a petition, and maybe if they did say you could build a wall around them, so they just stayed away from everybody else, would be kind of handy.
We have a big gate.
Big gate. We'll lock them out.
Now, all the good things that people associated with, you know, the Horse and Hound with, like I've had, you know, weddings, 21st and everything in the reception, the function room, which is pretty spectacular now. But then something as wonderfully Father Ted-ish as the Spud Festival, I presume that'll continue, which is, I just think it's a terrific idea, and it's certainly found a home. I think people sort of react to it in all the good ways that you would to a Spud Festival. Is there any way we could have a Spud Festival queen? There's a lot of people who have that Spud look about them. It would be just the person who looks most like a Spud but has to wear a dress, whether it's a man or a woman. Could be Spud queen for the year. So we're looking at today is Sunday, so we're looking at Tuesday is your kind of you're going to put your arms around the Horse and Hound, and that'll be the day. So do you kind of, I don't know whether that makes you feel, obviously there's a thrill about it. Are you kind of in any way scared? Because it's a nice kind of big step in life to say, okay, we're going to, one of the institutions of where we grew up and what we know and love, we're going to be kind of grabbing the steering wheel and driving for a while.
Sure. Well, we've lovely staff who we're taking with us, who are coming on board, and we'll be relying on them heavily initially. So that takes a lot of the real pressure off us, because they've been here for the last 2, 3, 4 years.
Sure, they know the roads.
They know the ropes.
They'll be teaching us.
They'll be teaching us all of that. So a little bit apprehensive. It's been a while since I pulled a pint. I'll be picking up my gin globe glasses on tomorrow, and I'll have those ready. And
I know how to pour a glass of wine.
Rock and roll. Practice makes perfect.
We've been doing a lot of work in the background in the last 4 or 5 weeks, and we've got a really nice wine list coming.
Great.
We'll have 6 reds and 6 whites by the glass or the bottle. And we're excited about some of those things. We think people will see some small little changes which might make a difference for them.
Well, I suppose it's like, do not adjust your set, just the telly's going to be a little bit better, and you know, you're hoping to make the picture a little bit better, but it'll be still the same TV set. And so rock and roll, I mean, I think everyone's looking forward to it, and the fact that it is sort of connected to people who live here, and you know, I know that's not important, but it does feel lovely when there's a continuation of a story of some sort. You know, there's always going to be more chapters to this place over the, you know, it's been around for so long, who knows, you know, where it's going to go next, but the idea that it has these kind of, you know, connections to the past every now and again is a sweet thing. So nicely done, kids.
Thank you.
Thanks.